Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin Roll International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at two halfpenny coins from the United Kingdom produced 101 years apart from each other. And here they are right here. I'm using a new camera, as some of you may be able to tell. I got the new iPhone 12 because my old camera from 2015, my old iPhone was starting to fail and I couldn't keep it charged. But anyways, so we're going to have to kind of work on the pictures and how we look at them, but this is kind of cool right here. Victoria DG, of course, by the grace of God, Brit, and it doesn't say Brit Om, it just says Brit, or Brit Reg, or Queen of all Britons, FD, Defender of the Faith, and we see that up here it's open. And some people think, well, maybe that wore off, but they actually left an opening up here. They didn't put any crosses or pluses or colons or semicolons up here. They just let that open above her head in 1864. And of course, this over here is a 1964 Queen Elizabeth II halfpenny. And we'll turn them over in a second, but before we do, I just want to talk a little bit about how many they made. And some people think, well, they didn't make many halfpennies in the 1860s, and it turned out they made a bunch. They didn't make so many in 1864. 1864 is the year to collect if you're collecting halfpennies from the United Kingdom. 1864, they only made 537,000. So if you get one that's a little bit better condition than this, it's worth 10 to 12 pounds or 15 or maybe $20 US, in a little bit better condition than this. And so in the good condition, it's worth $1 to $3. Probably this is worth a little bit more than that. In the very fine condition, and very fine is a pretty used coin for 1864, it's worth $13 plus. But in 1862, they actually made 61.1 million of these. And in 1962, they made 41.8 million of these. So they actually made 20 million more halfpenny coins in 1862 than they did in 1962. But of course, as I said, 1864 was a short year for them. And of course, in the United States, we were in the middle of a civil war in 1864. And here's the back of them, and they're just kind of way different. Of course, they changed the halfpenny under Queen Victoria to have the Sir Francis Drake ship on it. But let's look at this one. It says half, and you miss a little bit of the F there. Penny. It's Victoria with a trident here. And this is the one that many people love, and that has the ship at sea and the lighthouse in it. And down here you can see the 1864. Both of these coins are bronze coins, and they both weigh 5.67 grams, or they did when they were new. If we look at this portrait here, and we'll tip it up a little bit so you can see it. Of course, Britannia has the shield. Now you can see that ship a little bit better. This is when Britannia ruled the waves, and there she is with the helmet, the shield, and the trident up. And there's 1864. You can see that very clearly. Now, the outside of this coin, this is, of course, the Leonard Charles Wyon engraving, and he did the front and the back of this coin. The edge is plain, as you can see here. It's no reeded or milled rim on it. And if you go out to the front of the coin and go to the edge, you'll see that this is what's called sometimes a geared or a struck edge. So there's no dots here on this one. It's all kind of geared coming out. If we go over to the front, of course, we see that this is what they call the bunhead version. This is a second portrait of Queen Victoria, and the bunhead version that refers to this. But what I loved about this is that I think they actually tried to mimic it somewhat when they did the Queen Elizabeth II one. So see, we have not the bunhead, but we have the kind of laureate wreath, and we have the hair tie flowing out the back on both of them. The Queen Elizabeth II one, you can see this has a beaded outer rim, and so it's not geared. It doesn't touch. If you get a really fine version of the coin, you actually see space between the bead and the rim. Again, it's same bronze coin, and this is an HP on the back. So the front, of course, is the Mary Gillick first portrait. No initials from Mary Gillick. They never put hers on the coin. But on the back, the Sir Francis Drake ship, the three-masted schooner. No, not a schooner. Three-masted warship has an HP on there, and that's for Thomas Humphrey Paget. And down here we can see the kind of scrolling, the 1864 and the other scrolling, and way up here we can actually see the Union Jack and the banners flying. It says halfpenny here, and if we look down here we can actually see the cannon ports on the ship and the spinnaker going way out in the front. So 2 coins 100 years apart. Now, one of the things that people really want to know sometimes is, what was the value of these coins? Well, something funny happened with industrialization, and that is in 1864, it cost about 7 pence for a loaf of bread, and so about 14 of these for a loaf of bread. In 1964, it only cost about 23 pence for a loaf of bread, because they were able to make these, factory could make bread in 1964. It actually didn't go up that much in price. So, but there is something else that's really weird about these 2 coins, and that is that they were both good in 1964. You could use either one of these coins in 1964 because Britain never demonetized their coins until they got to decimalization. And then in decimalization, they started demonetizing. And in the midst of planning for decimalization in 1969, both of these half pennies, on August 1st, 1969, both of these half pennies were demonetized, and you couldn't use them to buy anything anymore. But we're kind of proud in the United States about how our money's good forever. But this coin here was good from 1864 until 1969. You could use this half penny in currency. Now, of course, not many people did, because this one particularly was a little bit more rare. But both of these were demonetized on August 1st, 1969. Actually, when I looked up the loaf of bread, it's actually from a book by Shepherd and Newton. And they have a book called The Story of Bread, and it says what a half pence could buy or a pence could buy in 1864 and in 1964. All right, so that's pretty much all we have today. We have the 2 coins. Let's have them face each other. So the great-grandmother here, the Queen Elizabeth here, and what we're looking at is about 120-something years of reign so far. We're still adding them on every year because Queen Elizabeth II is still a queen. But this is a lot of British history, United Kingdom history, for these 2 women who've ruled the United Kingdom as the Queen. All right, that's all we have. Have a great day from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comment section.